We're here today to demonstrate how gravity works. And until now, we've talked about gravity as a system of equations or the magical force that binds two objects that both have mass and are separated by some distance. I have a bunch of my friends who've come out today to help demonstrate that. And we have this giant piece of spandex that's been gridded. This piece of spandex is a two-dimensional representation of the three-dimensional space that we live in. And right now, it's pulled nice and taut. We're representing a region of space that's devoid or absent of any mass. And that way, if I take a planet and I put it on a straight line path, it's not going to be disturbed by anything, and it'll move in a fairly straight path. And that doesn't matter if I have a kind of larger planet or a much smaller planet, and I toss that smaller planet. You can see as it moves through this two-dimensional space that's very flat, it's moving in a nice straight line. That's what would happen if we were in a region of space without mass. But what happens when we put in mass? Here's some mass. So I have here a bowling ball that's going to represent a large piece of mass, say a star. And I'm going to put it, at the center. And you can see when I put the bowling ball in the middle of this piece of spandex, it actually deforms space. And this is how gravity works. In fact, Albert Einstein, in his general theory of relativity, told us that the way that gravity works is by deforming space. So that a massive object, say like the sun, is deforming space. And so as the Earth orbits the sun, the Earth thinks it's just going in a nice straight line path around the sun, but it's doing so in a curved space. And that really is how gravity works. And so if I take my planets now and I start orbiting them or tossing them in a straight line, you can actually see, even tossing them in a straight path, they begin to orbit this giant piece of mass. Very cool. And that works whether I have a large planet again, or if I use my small planet and orbit, you can see my small planet begins to orbit. Ooh, very cool. It takes a while until it hits the other planet. And this is the way that gravity works. And in fact, this is true for any object that has mass, whether it's a star, or a planet, or a moon, or even all of us. Anything with mass is slightly deforming space. Now, you and I aren't massive enough to deform much of space, but something like a star will greatly deform space and allow objects like planets or moons to orbit it.